Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So I competed in math counts when I was in middle school. I studied really hard for it, and one of the big frustrations I ran into was that my study habits didn't always line up with the calendar, right? It would be Friday night, and all of a sudden I got a surge of momentum from all my studies, and then school would be let out, and you didn't want to waste the weekend on that, and so it was just really frustrating. A typical week, I don't really ramp up until at least Wednesday, and then before long the weekend comes, and I realized that weekends didn't align with my study habits, or also they did the going back to the week, right? Often didn't I had just ramped up some social activities or whatever during the weekend, and all of a sudden we have to go back to school, right? It just didn't line up. The other thing I realized that didn't line up was that I would get excited about a holiday coming, right? So for example, we just had President's Day, but last month we had Martin Luther King, and I would get excited about that, but the day would come and then you would realize that the fact that everybody took off that day kind of negated the benefit of it, right? Your favorite restaurant might not be open, or travel might be more expensive. You get the idea, right? Or the highways might be just more congested. You get the idea, right? I thought it would be nice to have a day off where nobody was taking the day off, right? So I was a big fan of Kelly Clarkson when she first won American Idol, and I decided that her birthday would be a great day to have some kind of holiday, right? But of course I didn't get the day off, right? That's the problem, right? But I always kind of celebrated it anyway. And we're coming up to her birthday. She'll be turning 42 years old this year. And hard to believe. I think the first time I celebrated her birthday, she had turned 20, if I remember correctly. And then I started adding other celebrity birthdays. But it made me wish that we had a desynchronized society, right? A clockless society. People should take weekends whenever it makes sense to, right? Think about how many hours you waste in the office aimlessly browsing stuff because you're just not in the mood, or how many weekends where you feel like you got to check your work, right? All of that could be eliminated, and people could sleep a whole lot better, right? If you didn't have a fixed time you had to wake up. A lot of time is wasted just trying to be on time, right? So for example, tomorrow I got to get up before I got an appointment at 10 o'clock, and it just pigeonholes the situation, right? Maybe I'm getting maybe I'm dreaming about something at that moment, but I'm forced to get up, and maybe I could have dreamed about how to discover something important, but it was interrupted by my alarm clock. You get the idea. A lot of good ideas are lost doing that. Now you might say, well, how can that work? It would be chaos. Well, the solution is that, think about it this way, right? Here at Whole Foods, we obviously have a lot of essential workers. They don't tell us when to come here, right? So why can't it work on the other side of the counter, right? If employees show up at all different hours, in the aggregate, you would still have a lot of employees to work with, right? Just a thought, right? After all, when was the last time you came to Whole Foods and there were no customers, right? Even though we all show up at random times, right?